Sweat is pouring down his forehead, even though the temperature in the auditorium is a little bit on the cooler side. This dad is fidgeting nervously in his seat and wringing his hands as he's listening to the speaker. He's sitting down the aisle from me, and I can only imagine what he's thinking right now. What is that story from? It's actually the story that a past client relayed to me while she and this dad were sitting in the auditorium of their local high school listening to the presentation about financial aid, or their financial aid night. She didn't know this gentleman that well, but she can only imagine what he was thinking, because he was probably getting nervous trying to figure out the financial aid and probably wondering just how much college is going to cost him and his family. It's understandable. But here's the thing. It doesn't have to be you. People often say that college admissions and college financial aid is a game. And I'm here to tell you that it basically is. A game with a set of rules, and if you know those rules, you can develop strategies. There is no pile of magic beans you can use, or some secret code, or some secret thing you do to magically get a lot more aid. It's not like when you're filling out the FAFSA, blink 3 times and do a jumping jack, and poof, there you go, gets a ton more aid. It doesn't work like that. But you can win the game. You have to be intentional about every step of the process, because in every step of the process, there is a strategy. And by the way, I should say that many families think that admissions and financial aid are two totally separate things. They are not. Obviously, your kid has to get into the college before college is going to give you what their financial aid offer is. But they're more interlinked than most people think. Admissions factors have tremendous impact on how much aid you might get. But even then, even when someone has figured out the formula, the actual financial aid formula, which by the way is public, colleges have tremendous leeway in terms of what they're allowed to do. How do I know this? Well, it's because I actually visit around 20 colleges a year. And I go on the tours just like any other parent. I go sit through the information session just like any other parent. And I actually like that because I get to hear what other parents are asking. But then after these tours and information sessions, I will meet with someone from admissions, and I will meet with someone from financial aid, and I will ask them how they apply these policies to their specific school. And you would not believe just the variations I hear. Colleges do all sorts of things because they're allowed to in terms of figuring out how much aid a student can get. So even when you know the formula and you figure out that your family should get this, oftentimes the outcome is not that. So in this podcast, we're going to be covering these things. We're going to be talking about the rules. We're going to be talking about the strategies. I will often have guests who talk about different aspects of the college planning process, and probably what they tell you is a little bit different than what you see out on the internet, right? Because these are professionals in their field, their experience, and they see how these things truly work. So if you want to be intentional, if you want to win the game of financial aid and be able to pay for college without destroying your family finances, then you need to listen to this podcast. And this is why I'm here to help you. So please make sure you subscribe, follow me on LinkedIn where I post episodes of the podcast, but also other information about college financial aid, and things like that. The link will be in the show notes below. I'll see you soon.